Here he comes. Let's turn out the light.
We're the huge movie fanatics here to review Frankenstein.
This is the oldest movie we've ever reviewed so far.
Yeah, this is the oldest one.
Now the reason we're reviewing it is he's mentioned it on one or two occasions, Frankenstein being one of your favorite movies or something like that. So that intrigued me, and for a couple of sessions I've always wanted to do this, so I wrote it down. We've got some time, so we're going to do it.
Frankenstein is one of my favorite movies. I think it's certainly, for my money, the best original of the, or best first installment of all of the Universal monster movies that were out then or have ever come out since. And like, this movie is just so great. The production design on this movie is so astounding and it holds up to this day. This movie is shot in the like 1930, comes out in 31. How does this movie look as good as it does and like hold up to this standards now? Like, I mean, little things here and there don't work anymore, but it was the 30s. But man, that's great. And it's like the black and white of the movie is used so well, you can almost see it in color. Like your mind paints it in so wonderfully. And I just adore this movie. The performances by Clive Revel or something like that.
Who does he play?
Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, he plays him. God, that guy's good.
He is so amazing. I love that guy. Boris Karloff is obviously great as the monster.
And what about, isn't the guy who plays, what's his name, the hunchback?
Oh, yeah.
Is he Igor? Or, no, I don't think, is he Fritz?
Fritz, yeah, he's Fritz.
God damn it, I'm probably not gonna, something Fry. What's his first name? I can see it on the credits. Oh well. Dwight Fry.
Dwight Fry, yeah.
He was Renfield also in the
trailer.
But I like Dwight Fry. I love him. I love that name. What did I say that name? Fritz.
He was great.
Fritz.
I love Fritz.
Don't you love when he goes and cuts down the body and he's like, here's the knife. Here I come. And he just jumps right next to him.
That was one of those scenes where I think that it didn't really age well.
He just jumps right next to him.
Yeah, I
love that shit.
It's great. I also love, one of the most unintentionally funny moments is when he's going in to steal the brain. And he accidentally drops the healthy human brain and picks up the, what's the word they use? It's so funny. The abnormal brain.
Yeah, abnormal, because in Young Frankenstein it's, abnormal,
yeah.
Be normal.
And so they make that's the explanation they give. If you've ever read the book, this is so not like the book. The book is one of my favorite books. So I have problems with that. I saw this well before I read the book. So that's why, oddly enough, I'm one of the people that tries to watch the movie before I read the book, because that way I don't get disappointed with the movie.
Yeah.
And when I go and read the book, it's like I get deleted scenes or an alternate take.
Oh yeah, I see.
And so
or an extended.
Or extended, yeah, exactly. I saw this well before I read the book. I didn't read the book until college, but it's a terrific movie. Oddly enough, the book is much closer to what Bride of Frankenstein ends up being, and that's my favorite of the movies. But I'm going to give this one 4 stars. It is so good. It holds up. It's paced so well that you can watch it now, and like it feels like a sort of modern movie in terms of its pacing. Whereas you watch Dracula, that one is sort of
my God,
slow to get through. And if
like,
you've ever seen the Spanish version of it, it is even longer.
Oh hell.
So yeah, and like even the sequels to this, with the exception of Bride of Frankenstein, like Son of Frankenstein and Ghost of. Ghost of is the shortest one. It's like barely over an hour, and it just takes
like 2
forever.
hours.
Yeah. Son of Frankenstein's the worst. Like it's not a bad movie, but it just goes on forever. But the filmmaker behind this, and I'm forgetting his name, they made a excellent movie about him and making
James Whale.
James Whale.
He did Invisible Man.
Yeah, he knows how to make a movie and pace it like he was way ahead of his time. And the movie, I think, is going to be timeless because of that. This is certainly the most fondly thought of movie of the Universal monsters.
I spent a winter in Seattle, and I don't sleep. When I wasn't working, so I don't sleep necessarily at night. So I was outside at this parking lot, just futzing around, wasting time just to be outside because I wasn't all cooped up. And a cop ended up showing up, thinking I was shady or whatever. Anyway, he ended up like telling me to put my hands behind my back. Anyway, he asked what my name was, and I didn't want to give my real name. You know what I said?
What?
James Whale. I just said James Whale. I don't know where that came from, but I'm probably James Whale reincarnated. So we're talking about my movie Frankenstein. Isn't that the weirdest thing? It's like a cop asks you, "What's your name?" James Whale.
Yeah, it's so weird.
How it just came to me. I mean, I knew who he was obviously because I was a big fan for a long time of Invisible Man. But I just when we mentioned the name, I just had to say that.
Yeah.
James Whale. James Whale. But I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, I give it 4 stars. It has some of my favorite scenes. I like it's alive, it's alive!
Oh,
my God, in the name of God!
Is that famous or is that
yeah,
famous?
that is,
I mean,
it's tremendous. And then the scene that was cut out forever up until recently with him throwing the girl and to see if she floats. Which is funny, but it's also creepy and it's also understandable. Like, the monster is somewhat sympathetic throughout the whole thing, more so in the second one, but he's not really a bad guy, he's just misunderstood. And
well, he's just an idiot. I mean,
like,
he's just got
that's something that's
brain.
for this only. Like, in the book, the monster was terribly villainous.
Oh, okay.
And that was a unique take put on in this movie that I loved. That's why I love this movie so much, and the sequel. And that's something that they never really touched on in the other ones. That he's sympathetic. That he's harmless, even though he's harmful. Like he didn't try to kill the girl; it just happened, and he freaked out when it happened.
Yeah, it's like when I killed that one girl a couple weeks ago. I didn't know an axe to the head, would have any lasting impression. So yeah, us idiots, we shouldn't be held accountable. But may I?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I think the movie's great. I'm obviously going to go 4 stars and beyond classic. I mean, Frankenstein. One thing that is so funny if you watch, back in the early days of sound, they probably didn't care. I mean, audiences weren't so educated, but if you watch the beginning with the scene of the graveyard, and it's so, I mean, the echo of the studio and the audio, isn't that great? It's like even when he's like going to dig up, it's like you can hear the dirt like fall off the stage, and just like, where's the dirt landing? You can just hear it go. It's like, but I love the sound, the raw sound of that, all the thuds of like the coffin and stuff when they're pulling it out or whatever. It's just that early 30s, that early movie sound. I love how that sounds.
Yeah.
It's just like, and I love that. I love Fritz, man. Fritz is just great.
I like him better than Igor. Igor is more well thought of, but
yeah, Fritz. I mean,
Fritz is what everybody thinks of as Igor.
Right.
Oddly enough.
Right. Yeah.
Even though that wasn't the same character.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just so great, and the guy who plays Dr. Frankenstein is just holy shit.
I can't remember his name. Isn't it Piper Bell or something like that? No, that's the dude in Empire Strikes Back who played the Emperor. It's some. I feel so bad that I don't remember his name. He died of alcohol poisoning shortly after Bride of.
Oh, after the second one.
Yeah.
Oh man, so he was an alcoholic.
Yeah, he was a really bad alcoholic, and he died of alcohol poisoning. I think in like 37 or something like that.
Oh, floods.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. A lot of the people involved in this died tragic deaths early on, except for.
How long did I live? I did Invisible Man. I can't remember if that was before.
I think that was around the same time. I don't think he lived into the 40s though.
Who? Me? James Whale? So yeah, making this movie was hard. One of the things I liked about making it was, I'm kidding. You're gonna start creeping you off.
That opening scene is great too. Like, I'm not talking about the graveyard scene. The graveyard scene is epic.
Which
but
one?
the guy coming out saying this is just a movie.
Oh yeah.
That's so great, and it was parodied on The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool.
Because back then, this was like freaking heinous stuff that was in this movie. I mean, it's funny now to post songs, post everything.
Yeah, it was censored hardcore.
I think the reason they did that is because they were afraid of putting people off.
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking about stitching together, digging up body parts, stitching them together, and putting bolts in the guy's neck, and doing all kinds of stuff. And
the look of Frankenstein doesn't really make a whole lot, or the monster rather, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But like in the book, it made a lot more sense. He was basically human looking. In this, he's human looking except for he has a square head, which I don't even know how that would have happened.
Well,
usually
usually in the brain transplant procedures, the heads tend to end up square. It's just a common side effect of that procedure. I was able to round mine out again after the fact.
It's just really like that makes me giggle. I don't understand why it was, but it's so iconic. Like when you think of the monster, you think of immediately flat top.
Yeah, and what's the deal with Fritz tormenting it? Like, well, he's got that torment. It's like it's like Dr. Frankenstein leaves the room. Oh, good.
And there's that really kind of funny close-up when he's scaring the girl, when he's scaring the bride of Frankenstein. They're to get married on the wedding day. Yeah, where she's like. And they come back to her, do the exact same scream. It was the same shot, same frame, everything. They just reused it.
Yeah, well, I didn't have anything else available. That's the only shot we had. I thought we'd use it again.
Like, I mean, it's sad that we're making fun of some of these scenes because it really,
we're making
really
fun
good.
because we love it.
Yeah, like it actually is. As far as like scary movies, old-time scary movies go, it actually holds up really well. Like because of the production value, the imagery in it is great.
Don't you love just that whatever the hell that building they're in and then the high steeple or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like when they
the windmill, right?
Yeah, are they in the windmill?
Yeah, there's a flaming windmill at the end of the movie, right?
I can't remember if that's what they're in the whole time.
It was Frankenstein's castle.
Yeah, the castle, Well, I remember the fiance and her dad coming there and it's a storm and it's like that great shot. I don't know if the camera pans up or maybe just shows it. And I think it's a process shot even where they put him, there's some opticals in here, I think, where they put him in there, just the ominous kind of shadow of him, or the silhouette of him. What do you want? At least give us shelter. Yeah, and the introduction of the monster is creepy. Like when you just sort of see its face. I might put it at the end somewhere on this video. I did to Sideshow Toys. They make figures. They did a figure that I bought, and I did an animated reproduction, not a reproduction, a reimagining of the monster's intro where it comes in. It's kind of dumb, but it comes into the door backwards, and then he turns around. But anyway, I kind of like that. No, that is kind of cool in a weird way. But it's kind of funny. Weird. So I might put the actual scene and then mine, which I was very. I mean, I'm not an animator by trade, so I was pretty happy with how that turned out. But you mentioning that made me think of it. Yeah. But I think we'll probably cut it off right now so we can get to work on time. Yes, exactly. Unless you have something else to say.
No, and then, next time maybe we should do the Bride of Frankenstein.
I was thinking about that. We could end with this and maybe start with Bride of Frankenstein, because he wanted to do that, because I think you like that more.
Yeah.
Maybe I can watch Bride of Frankenstein before that, because I'm not as familiar with that.
Okay.
So it sounds like a great idea. I just thought it'd be really cool to do a review of a movie from the early 30s.
Yeah,
it's something that, have you seen Invisible Man?
Yeah.
So maybe we could do Invisible Man sometime.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
I haven't seen it for a while.
Watch it though, but I can.
Do you have it? No.
No, I can.
Maybe it's on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll see what I can.
But maybe we should do some more of the old. That'd be kind of cool. Along with newer stuff to throw some old. I mean, we're talking old movies in there too. It'd be kind of cool. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll probably show you my animated Frankenstein monster coming up next. Have a good one.
Here he comes. Come with that torch.